Alright, boys. So today I'm gonna have a pretty interesting story for you guys. If you're new here, welcome to the channel, or if you've been here before, welcome back. My name is Diego, and this channel is gonna be focused on my experience as a newbie writer. I'm just pretty much gonna be documenting everything, sharing some things I learned and some things that I wish I knew. So today I'm gonna start you guys off with a little story time. I figured, why not, right? I'm going on a ride. I figured I'd just speak my mind a little bit. So this story time is going to be about the time I failed the MSF basic rider course. All right, it took me 2 tries. I failed it on the first try, and goddamn, it was so embarrassing, first of all, because I was the only guy that failed, and it was also just a huge waste of money. I ended up having to pay for the rider course a second time. But all right, let me start you guys off. Let me set the scene. So it's summer 2021, right? A few months ago. I think it was like a month and a half ago. And all of the classes in my area, I live here in San Antonio, all of the classes in my area for the basic rider course were completely booked up for like the next 2 months. So what I had to do is go all the way to Buda, Texas, which is about an hour away from me, just to be able to take it as soon as possible. So it was like an hour ride and like an hour and a half back because of traffic, and it was a 3-day course. So my first time around with the rider course, I was obviously really nervous around the motorcycle. Everything that had to do with the clutch and the throttle and the friction zone was just super foreign to me. I had zero experience with manual transmissions. I had never been around a manual car, and I had never been around motorcycles before, so everything about riding a bike was completely foreign to me. But even then, even though I was a complete noob, I did pretty good during the first 2 days of practicing. I never stalled the bike. I never dropped the bike. I never lost control of the bike. Like, if I felt really good, right? I was doing good, but I didn't feel good, I should say. Like, I was really nervous the entire time. I just felt like there was a beast underneath me that any little wrong move would kill me. And I guess that is what a motorcycle is, right? Like, it's not something that you can make too many mistakes with. But all right, so day 2 and 3 of the basic rider course are your riding days, and on day 2 you go through the first 7 riding exercises, and on day 3, so the last day, you go through the second set of 7 exercises. There's a total of 14, and at the end of the third day you take the skills evaluation exam, right? So they pretty much test you on like 5 different skills, and you have to pass them. So I knew everything was wrong when about 30 minutes before a test, some guy just completely wiped out on the motorcycle. I'm talking, he got dragged, right? Like, he lost control of the throttle, he gassed the freaking throttle, and his bike went flying, and it sent him dragging along with him because he wouldn't let go of the handlebars. So his knees were literally dragging on the floor, and he would not let go of the handlebars. And this was right before our exam. So I don't know what about that, but it put me on edge, like, really bad. It made me super nervous, and it just psyched me out before the test even started, right? So the first skill of the MSF rider course that they test you on is they put like 5 cones in a row, and you just have to like swerve left and right like this, right? Going at low speeds. And then the second one is the one that I messed up on, like, really bad. I really fucking messed up. So the second one is a right turn from a stop, and following that was a left-hand U-turn. So pretty much you made a right turn from a stop, and then you rode for like 10 feet, and then you made a left-hand U-turn, right? I had done them pretty good the whole time practicing. Like, there wasn't one time that I messed up and I felt like, you know, I was about to fail the exam. But again, like I mentioned, I was really psyched out before the exam started because the guy had just wiped out really bad. But anyway, I go. Have you guys ever been so nervous or like so scared of a situation that it feels like you're not in control? Like, it feels like you're out of body. Like, I straight up had an out of body experience during the second skill eval. I almost felt like I was in a video game looking at my hands and my body like, what the hell is this, you know? It almost felt fake. But okay, so yeah, pretty much I approached the right hand turn, And it's as if I had never ever used the throttle before, man. I'm talking, I let the throttle, the clutch go. I just completely released the clutch, so the bike wanted to stall out, right? And then, so I completely went off track with the cones. And I was like, okay, whatever, I still got this. So I proceeded onto the U-turn. I did the most busted U-turn ever, bro. Like, we're talking, I had to put my feet down. Like, I went completely away from the cones, and it was just bad. And I knew I had blown it, man. Like, I knew I wasn't gonna pass the test. But yeah, anyways, I was saying, sure enough, the instructor came up to me. He's like, dude, like, I'm sorry to tell you, but you pretty much blew it already. You put your feet down, you almost stalled the bike, and you made a horrible U-turn, like you went over the cones. And at this point, I'm like, I just didn't know what to say. I was like in shock. He's like, yeah, so you technically already failed, but if you want to continue with the exam, you can. I was like, fuck it, you know, like, I might as well stick through the exam and see what they're gonna test me on, so I'm ready for the second time I do it. Because I mean, I had to do it a second time. There was just no way around it. So yeah, that's how I failed the first time. I pretty much just it was pretty much as if I had never ridden a motorcycle before, and I was a complete noob. So I knew that I was gonna have to take it again, and I did, right? So I go home. I was completely heartbroken. I told my mom, like, Mom, like, you're not gonna believe this, but I didn't pass the exam, and that was pretty much a waste of $270. So I went online and I looked for another course. This one much closer to my house. This one was literally across the bridge from where I live, at the Harley-Davidson here in San Antonio. And guys, I don't know if I can say this or expose them, but their course was a joke, man. Like, we technically covered the same things, but every single person passed. Like, every single person passed. And all I'm gonna say is that a few of them didn't deserve to pass with how they did with their skills eval. But yeah, that was the quick little story of how I not only completely embarrassed myself and was the only person that didn't pass the skills eval test, but I also cost myself like $500 total, because it was $270 the first time and then $250 to take it again with Harley-Davidson. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that embarrassing story, and take it from me, guys, practice. What I wish I would have done was, before the exam, like the afternoon before or the night before, taking my motorcycle to a parking lot and just freaking practice, like, just, you know, just practice the U-turns, man. The low speed maneuver stuff is really going to be important when you take the test. If you get nervous and you start second guessing yourself and having to think about what you're doing, you are guaranteed to make a mistake. So I know it's hard to say, because in the moment it feels impossible. It feels impossible to like control those emotions. But yeah, just try to stay calm, like, really, like, breathe. So the second time around, when I took the test the second time, I took my Apple Watch, and right before the test started, I actually did the breathing exercises that the Apple Watch, kind of the feature it has with it. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but pretty much it has like a little breathing routine that is supposed to calm your stress and anxiety levels. And honestly, I must admit, it really did work. I did feel better, and I performed way better the second time. Also, the instructors were way less intimidating, so yeah, that really helped, because the first time around, the guy was like really strict. I mean, he should be, right? He should be, because it's safety issues, right? Like, you can't fuck around on the road and let a person that's not ready to ride go out on the street with a fucking license, right? So I understand why he was tough. I'm just saying that it was an added factor, a stress factor, you know? But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this little story, or just want to hear me rant some more, be sure to drop a follow, or I guess on YouTube it's a subscribe. So just sub real quick to the boy. I'll be sure to make more of these. I feel like I have so many stories to tell. Like, I can do story times forever and never get bored of it, and it's just super fun to just ride around and tell a story. So take care, y'all. Peace and love, baby, and I'll see you on the next one.